Hey, hey, hey.
Hello, hello.
Every,
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Journey Live. We're so glad that you were able to come join us again for our episode number 2.
number two.
Just want to remind you guys what this space is for. Again, this is the place where we hold conversations with people who are making an impact in their communities through entrepreneurship. So we're going to dive into their stories and talk about the ups, downs, the things that they've had to overcome. And we also want this to be a resource for you all so that you can connect with these people and learn some information so that you can, embark on your own journey. So we hope that the stories that we bring to you are relatable, and maybe we can highlight some businesses and services that you never heard of, but all the while you can support them and they can enhance your lives. All right, so there's something for everyone. Like I said the last time, whether you have no idea what you want to do with your life,
Right.
whether you're putting the pieces together, or maybe you already have a dream that you're currently working on.
Right.
Again, the Journey Live happens every second and fourth Wednesday of the month, and it is brought to you by Spirit of Praise Ministry Atlanta. And I don't know if we mentioned this last time, Rich, but if you guys don't know, this show is actually bi-coastal because
That's
I
true. That's true.
am joining from sunny California,
Sunny California.
and
Yes.
Richardson is in Atlanta. And
Yeah, it's actually been warm today. Today
yeah,
is really, really nice
okay,
compared to
I'll send
last
some
week.
more sunshine
Yeah,
your
yeah.
way.
Send some more. Send some more of that sunshine over here, man. It's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
and I'd be very interested to, know where everyone is watching from. I think that'd be very cool to see.
That would be great. Yeah, go ahead and if
Well,
you're in the live chat, go ahead and just in the chat, go ahead and post where you're from,
mhm.
where you're watching, and also another good thing later on at the towards the end of the show, there's going to be opportunities for those who are watching live that are entrepreneurs and want to share their journey and share their story to be able to send us some information so you guys can become a guest on the show as well.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
what do we have
Yeah,
for us
stay
today?
tuned. Okay, awesome. So I would love to introduce you all to our guest for the day, for the evening. Our guest
Mhm.
is Naomie Bonnet. Naomie has been a lash artist and professional makeup artist in Atlanta, Georgia for 5 years, and she
Mhm.
specializes in natural and glam eyelash extensions, makeup, ombre brows, waxing, and more. She also has created a 3D 100% mink lash line called Melanated, and I am actually wearing them today. I am a fan of her work. I patronize her business. She also creates with style, class, and luxury, and she's curated a homemade line of silky body butters. I can attest that it is very moisturizing and definitely worth your while to give it a try. And it's
Yes,
perfect for
yeah.
all skin types. So I am especially excited to
Mhm.
welcome Naomie to our show today. So let's dive into the
Let's
conversation.
bring her in. Hey, hey.
Hey,
How you doing, Naomi?
I'm good. Nice to see you all virtually.
Yes,
All right,
this is
virtually.
the new normal, as they like to
That's
say.
right. Hmm.
Stop,
Yeah.
stop.
It's good. It's good. It's really, really good to see you. I remember when I first moved out here to Georgia was 2006 to
So
see
why
the
you gotta say
growth.
that though? Like,
No,
first
we
of all,
have to. I
don't
have to bring
date
this in.
us.
It's going to date us. Yes, it is going to date us. But to see the growth from the time that I've been here in Georgia, and then when I finally met you, Vanessa, and everybody else down in our area, to see the growth from when
Mhm.
you started to where you are right now,
Mhm.
it's really, really amazing. I
It
really
is who I
applaud that.
am.
Yeah.
And for those who are out there that's looking into becoming an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
she's the one person you guys need to follow. So all her information is going to be posted later, and we're going to be having a good conversation today.
Mhm.
They're going to be talking about the lashes and stuff, but
Yes.
wear that stuff. But,
I mean, you have
we're
two daughters, so you may not use it for yourself, but you could, refer to
yeah,
some of
yeah,
it
probably, give them some
from.
tips. I could probably help them out, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're definitely going to dive into the business side on how
Mhm.
you were able to start your business and how you scaled it. So this is going to be a fun conversation today.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm ready.
All right. Okay, so why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, like a little brief history, and then tell us a little bit about what you do, just as an overview.
So my name is Naomie. As you know, I am a full-time entrepreneur. I am a lash artist, makeup artist, curator of Body Butters, a lash line, and I'm actually walking into my 6th year. So I started a new stream for you guys. So I kind of do all things beauty. I try to cultivate, what I think the beauty industry needs. Based off of things that I like in my friends and, my family and what they are looking for in the beauty industry. Again, I've been a lash artist under the beauty umbrella since 2005 of March. So next week I'll be walking into my 6th year.
Nice.
That's wonderful. That's one. I did see a post the other day that you had with your, what was it? Some lip gloss or what? That's what you posted, I think, right? Yeah.
We'll get into those later too. We'll get into
yeah, we definitely going to get into those. But my question for you is like, as young Black folks here, especially for you as a young Black woman, what was that light bulb moment? What triggered you to go straight entrepreneur? Forget about the 9 to 5. I don't want to work for somebody else. I don't want to make somebody else wealthy. What was that light bulb moment? What decision? What happened to push you to that point?
So I attribute the growth or the start of my story to my family. It wasn't me necessarily that had the idea, like the epiphany of, do makeup full time. It was more so I knew I was fed up working where I was working in corporate America, but I didn't know what my outs were. And it wasn't until I remember this specifically. It was March 7th of 2015. I got into a car accident. This guy named Melvin totaled my car and just, flipped everything upside down. But at that point, that's when I was thinking like, yo, I need to get out of this. I have a degree, but I'm not using it. But also there was nothing in the market for me at the time, unless I had 6 years of experience. So it was that day we went to a BC centric event, got into the accident, came home, and I got a call from the barber that I work with, Steph the barber. He was like, hey, I saw your picture you did for your sister-in-law's makeup. I need a makeup artist. I'm opening a salon. And I was like, I don't even know who you are. Like, how did you get my info? And then we, went down the line, and it was just like, well, in a group chat, I was like, so what do I do, guys? Like, what do you guys think if I were to go into business? And it was like, why are you not in business? And I'm like, cause education, and we're supposed to be doctors, lawyers, engineers, like nurses. I was supposed to be a pharmacist. Way back when I thought I was going to be a pharmacist. So it's just like you stick to that path of impressing your family or thinking that your what's the word I'm looking for? Your worth comes from making just your parents proud or not being an embarrassment to them.
Yeah.
Like, who would have ever thought, in Haiti that somebody does makeup would not be an embarrassment to their family? So it's just like, I can come here, all the sacrifices that my family made and, my parents made for me to just do makeup all day. That just wasn't realistic. But I mean, I ran with it. They were like, yo, let's think of some names. Literally that day, there was like, wow. I was like, I know I want to be Blush. I don't want it because everyone was beat at the time. And I was like, okay. I work with domestic violence. That's kind of
that is true.
So it was like Blush. It was like Blush by Mimi. I was like, oh, I don't want to sound like, I want to be presentable. I want it to be like clear.
Right.
So we came up with literally Blush by Naomie in like 48 hours. So
wow.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Awesome. But there are a couple of things that you highlighted in your story I think are really important. The one is the immigrant child's struggle. Being like a first or second generation American.
Right.
I don't know if there's any one of us that doesn't have this desire to like please our parents because your parents come here for you. Like you are the manifestation of their dream. So there's always like that pressure that I feel like a lot of us as immigrant kids can relate to. Right. So it's great to hear stories like yours because then people can realize like I can push past that fear of being a disappointment and end up having a fruitful business. So I think that's pretty amazing. And the second thing that I could highlight in your story is how you weren't even looking for the opportunity, but it just came to you. And
That's wonderful.
heard people say things like, you know, your gift will make room for you. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, wow, like what a perfect illustration of that, you know?
Well, what makes it even better is that, as she said, that she didn't even know who that person was, but the opportunity presented itself and she just stepped right into it. Yeah. Sometimes, you know, opportunities are presented and we're, as she said, we're trying to please our parents, but we're afraid. And then we let an opportunity pass.
Yeah.
And then we sit back like, man, I should have took that opportunity. But I really commend you on that, because if you didn't take that step and you didn't take that risk, you know, we don't know what could have happened. You know what I mean? But look at you now.
Where I was working. Yeah, I was just swiping them pills across that counter tray. And somebody have a nice day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us about what your first year of business looked like.
Ooh.
Year one.
Year one.
Yeah.
Year one was like, remember your freshman year in college? Like you felt grown. Really didn't know what you was doing because everything was spoon fed to you prior to. So it was like, can I go to the bathroom? You don't have to raise your hand. You know, being able to make decisions for myself without asking someone above me. It's kind of like, well, you know, this is above me now. Like I can't do what you're asking me to do. But at this point, it was just like, you know what? It's funny. I spoke about this today with a client. I think when in my first year of business, I started to dream more about what I wanted my future to be like. Because we were so ingrained to have a direct and a very concise path, we weren't able to dream outside of that. So when I became a business owner, it was never what I can't do. It was, how can I do this? When can I do this? What will it look like if I do X, Y, and Z? The fear is definitely there. I'm not saying that it wasn't fearful. There were times where I was just like, you know what? Maybe I should go back to, you know, because it was comfortable. Because being uncomfortable, nobody just chooses to be uncomfortable. It just comes with the territory. But once you're able to, like, you know, dip your toe in, it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Or, you know, let me dive right on in and see what else I can get into. That's literally what it was. So it was a lot of figuring out who I was and what that looked like through my business. Because in any business, you want yourself to kind of come through that. Because especially because I'm a person-to-person business, it's hard to like be standoffish or not hands-on. No, I'm really in charge of marketing, advertisement, actual service, making sure that follow through is happening. So it was just being consistent in decision makings of how I want this to look long term. Because now I know I don't have X, Y, and Z to fall back on. This is
you're right. With like these service industries, your business is literally you. Because I can't tell you how many times like I've gone to like, let's say like a hairstylist or a professional person and I didn't like their vibe or they were rude. Like even if they were gifted, because you know it just wasn't a fit. Like that can impact your business. So it's nice to see that, you know, like you took that into consideration. Like I am presenting like myself, you know?
Also, I don't want to embarrass my parents because they don't want to think like, oh, I went to Naomie, she was rude. And it's not going to happen. My mom.
No, you don't want to do that, right?
I know.
No. So like, it's funny that you say that because you know, when you pick somebody up or you drop them off, you wait till they flash the light to get in the house. Like I walk all of my life out. It's just something I've been since day one. And everyone's like, walk people to their car. And I'm like, well, you know, I want to know that you're safe. I want to know that you get to where you're going. People don't know that I'm missing. I have to be somewhere, but you know, I need you to know that I care about you from the beginning of your service to the end of your service.
That's that personal touch.
Not that, oh, I'll see you next time, and I turn my back and I'm already working on the next. I want to make sure the experience that you receive is a full package. You may not appreciate the service per se, but the overall service is something that didn't fit for me, but I can refer you to someone else.
Okay.
So I would like, okay, so you talked about your first year. So how did you scale up your business because you started off by just doing makeup, right? And then
makeup and lashes,
makeup and lashes, and then you just continue scaling it. Did you build a team or is it just still 100% just Naomie right now?
It's just me for the face of Blush by Naomi, but I will say my team are my family members as well as the people that I work at the salon and all of my clients, because honestly, I am nothing without the people that come to me and
Right.
me out. So that's my team.
Mhm.
I literally work with them so that when someone else that they know needs something, they refer me to them. So it's all networking. And I don't say that I've done this alone. I'm not that person. I got it out the mud.
Yeah.
No. People had to, talk about me. I had to do a lot of the legwork. But at the end of the day, when you hear a referral, that's what's going to drive people to come to you. You want to exclaim your business to people and say, oh, I do this, that, and the third. But if no one's ever can vouch for you, who's to say that people will come to you? So I really say my team is my client base for sure.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
So can you think of any like specific challenges that you've had in your business that you had to overcome that you want
to
the challenge?
Okay. All challenges.
Yeah, tell us about how how did you survive the past year and the things that you had to work through because of COVID?
That's tricky because, it's one of those things like, why me? Because there are so many other businesses that have been here longer than I have, that have, a wider reach than I do. And unfortunately had to close their doors for good. So I kind of that's where I just tip my hat off and I bow, because I honestly don't know. And, a lot of times people are always looking for that answer of how did you do? I don't know. I really don't know, besides just faith in my works and how God works, and just kind of just keeping your head down and keep grinding. A lot of times we like, oh, it didn't work, so we throw our hands up and we, turn our back on it. But it was just like, I don't know another way. This is all I have. This is me full time. So if it doesn't work, it's because I didn't work. So honestly, COVID, if anything, COVID taught me to focus more, to put my attention and my energy in ideas that I come up with. Sometimes you come up with an idea and you're just like, oh, let me write that down. And that's your aha moment. Those are your $1 million products that you may think of in a flash and you don't write down because you're so boggled down with your day-to-day routine that can offset you where you don't even have to have a routine anymore. So it's like, okay, sit down and brainstorm. Old school, take it back to second grade and the cloud, and okay, what's the thought, and then branch it out and see what you do. Honestly, having a really good financial advisor that's taking care of my business helps, because she helps me fund my ideas. It's one thing to have them, but that funding really
And for people who are like not familiar with how a financial advisor can help a business, can you like talk a little bit about the benefits of that?
That makes or breaks your business at the end of the day, because it comes down to how you pay your taxes, how you're registered with your tax if you're an S corp or a sole proprietorship, keeping you on budget, making sure that the goals that you set for yourself each month, each quarter are met, and that money is coming in. So she'll tell me, hey, Naomi, you didn't meet your budget this month. So you need to do something about that. Or you know what, for instance, and I say this, so the pandemic hit in March. In April, I pivoted and started selling jewelry, more body butters. Just off my earrings alone, I made $2,400 in 1 month. So it was something that I was just like, well, I talked to her. I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm a person-to-person business. How am I going to make this? And I was already selling jewelry, on the side at the shop. Well, let's funnel all your money into that and push it. And I was just like, she came to me and she was like, you made this much. And I was like, get out of here. Stop. Without even expecting it. I didn't have an issue when it came time to, pay out to, my debts and things like that each month. Also, it's always been, you're exceeding. And that's kind of where I want to be. It's always in the black. And that's the thing. I keep my head down. I don't really, talk too much, do too much. I just try to figure out what works for my business.
Right. It's a good thing that you mentioned that the financial advisor, because in America, small businesses maybe 2 years.
The average,
they like the average.
5,
And you're about to you hitting 6.
And
it's basically almost like you running the show. So that's very commendable. There's a question that actually just popped up in the chat. Let's go ahead and post up this question for you. Okay. Do you think your business drive is a family thing? Your dad, you, your brother, and your sister, all of you have some sort of business going on.
Mhm.
So do you think that business drive comes from the family side on your family side?
Funny you say that. I will say, yeah, for Bonnet really was, he was a dream, or he is a dreamer, I should say, in the sense of he likes his own, he likes to do his own thing. So when you see myself, you see my brother, you see my sister, we're all in our own little pockets. We're all doing our own little thing. But collectively, I will say we always have that, I don't want to do what everybody else does. Or if I'm doing something that's familiar, I want it to have my stamp on it. So yeah, for sure. It's definitely a family thing. For sure.
That's good. That's good.
It's great when you can have those examples because, you know, I know you're the youngest in your family. So it's nice that you can see like the others before you, like your parents or your siblings do something. I think like people say, like, you can't be something that you've never seen, you know?
For sure.
You need to like see that example. And for people who don't have families that are entrepreneurial, you know, that happens. That's where you can see that example in other people, you know, the people in your community or people that you may look up to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If anything, because the businesses are so different, it makes it seem like, well, you wouldn't know what I deal with, you know, in a day-to-day, you know.
Yeah.
You make pate, I do lashes, you know, you are a drummer full time.
Yeah.
Also, my sister does skincare. It's just like, yeah, none of these things literally merge, but they all work in the sense of when you're doing what you should be doing, I mean, anything will happen. Everything will happen that's supposed to happen.
Okay. All right, nice. Okay, so my next question for you is, you mentioned a little bit about this in terms of because COVID happened, but how does faith play a role in your business practices?
Ooh. This year, faith was definitely tested in my practices because, how can I put this? You tend to, when in any job or any business, you tend to fall back on, again, your routine. So it's kind of like when that is uprooted and literally has no course, what do you have left? So it literally brought me down to literally back to square one. It felt like year one all over again because I'm building from. There's some clients that I haven't even seen since COVID that haven't come back. And then I've had a slew of new clients that was just like, I didn't know what to do prior to COVID, but I'm here now, kind of thing. So it's like, honestly, when you have those moments of, man, I don't think I'm going to make it, or, you know, this just is too tough. I feel like I should just quit now. Those were the moments that, yeah, I sat and sat in those emotions because, of course, you can't move on without sitting in that space. But it was more so, okay, I felt what I felt, but it's always a but. If I do this, what can happen?
Yeah.
If I do this, what can change? If I just believe that, you know, this week was a tough week, but I know that God is going to supply me with 3 new clients. And I'm literally speaking this into existence. Next week, I pray for 3 new clients. Just watch it happen. It's crazy because it did happen. I posted about my body butters not too long ago, and I was just like, man, they're not really moving right now, but whatever. Let me just post this post. I'll see what I get. Within 24 hours, I was sold out.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, that's nothing but faith and just speaking that into existence. That, you know, okay, it's not working, but what else you got?
I will say that you do move when the spirit moves to you, because let me tell you, like, I placed a body butter order. I think like within the same day, I got like a shipping confirmation. I'm like, how is this girl like moving this quickly?
Listen, I don't really know when I sleep. I know I close my eyes, but I know more than I must sleep. So,
and I think I got it 3 days, like across the country, which is crazy.
I want y'all to experience every day. You know, I want it to be in your hands as soon as possible. Because that, to me, and this is the side of it that I learned from my mother, is give people the best of you. As best as you can. My mother was is a person that she don't like nothing halfway. If it's not presented, she's not going to give it to you. She doesn't even, you know, if it's not up to her standards, it's not up to your standards. So it's like the whole making sure people have that amazing experience, even though I can't even see you, Vanessa, because I know I would have, dropped it off to you, or when I came to California, brought it to you. But I want you to get the full experience, even though we can't, interact face to face. But yeah, I really am grateful for the USPS, even though they've been struggling. But the fact that I can still give someone, what I believe is a Blushed by Naomie experience, even if I can't give it to you face to face.
I think that's amazing.
Okay, so we talked about the family support, your support system. There's a question that that was posted in the chat. If we go ahead and post that from Seville, it says, "Do you find people who discourage you sometimes as you were growing your business?" Because that's when we talked about your family, you watched how it was the entrepreneurship spirit was something that came from your family. You saw it on your family side. So when you was really pushing your business, did you find people that was trying to discourage you or pull you away and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Go back and work that corporate job"? Or
Sure, absolutely. It's crazy because though I had a father that is an entrepreneur, they were hella skeptical of me starting my own business. Both my parents. It was like, "Well, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that?" And I was just like, I don't know. I'm going to do it because this is, all I have. But those moments of discouragement definitely are there. And they will come from the closest people to you. And it's not intentional. It's apprehension because they want you to be your best. So it's their fears being projected on you. So it's not to say that they're discouraging you because they're hating on you. They're discouraging because it's like, well, what if she doesn't make it? What if I won't be able to help her if she falls? And I think that's what happens a lot of times when you think, oh, my family members are just hating on me. No, if anything, it's coming from a place of love because, they see a path for you and they want you to follow that path. So whenever you divert, of course, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Are you sure? Does that make sense? They're going to question you each step. But then now my mom's like, how's business?
Nice.
I mean,
you made a great point, because especially in our community, whenever you try to pivot and try to do something different, that everybody expects us to follow a certain path, and then when we pivot and we do something, the eyebrows are raised and like, what are you doing? And it plays right into another question. Like, you got a lot of people asking questions.
I know.
Look
I
at
hope you don't mind if we go over our 30 minutes.
No.
Okay.
No.
We should be fine.
He said, I'm here.
Yeah, it says how many times. There's a couple of questions that actually tie in to exactly what you were talking about. How many times have you wanted to walk away? Go ahead and put up the next question. And it says, what do you find the most challenging about working for yourself? And then that next question is really tying into the community, or most of your support from your community or from strangers.
Okay.
So let's see how we can tie all three of those questions into what we were talking about. So how many times did you want to walk away? Especially
Wednesday.
Huh? Today's Wednesday.
That's real.
I'll probably walk away tomorrow, and then again on Saturday morning, I'll probably walk away again.
So how do you get yourself back?
I don't know. I know there's a lot of I don't knows, and I know it probably doesn't help you, but it's just you got to push yourself, because again, if I don't work, I don't eat. Plain and simple. If I don't work, I can't succeed at the goals that I have long term that I've set for myself. If I don't work, I don't make myself proud. So of course I'm not going to make the people around me proud,
Right.
And a lot of times it goes back into what was the second question again?
What do you find most challenging about working for yourself? And then the third question is, are most of your support from your community or from strangers?
I would say I'm going to answer the community question because it ties into that. It's 50-50. Don't have expectations of what that support is supposed to look like. That's going to trip you up every single time.
That's a good nugget right there.
That is.
Because when you expect like your mother to support you the way you want, or your father or your siblings to support you, they won't, because you have this picture of how it's supposed to look. And they might not ever purchase anything from you, but they'll post. That's support. Though it may not be like, yo, I need money. Like, I can care less about these Instagram posts. But then in the long run, you know, you got to think about long term. That is money. You don't know who's
very true. It'll come back around.
That's not looking at your profile, but that is on that person's page. So it's just like, you know, my community comes through in ways that I honestly would have never imagined. Like, beyond me, y'all have done the utmost. Like, y'all doing the most. Literally, y'all are doing the most. It's just me. I can't make everything at once, but I'm doing the best that I can to serve you guys. And you know, family is always going to be right at it's that root. It's the base of that pyramid. Honestly, it's the foundation. Honestly, it's like if you think about the base of a pyramid, chop that in half. That's one half is family, one half is community. Without one, you can't have the other, really. And the toughest thing about working for myself is self-doubt. Self-doubt.
That's real.
It's real, and I think that's the thing that people don't think about in entrepreneurship is that we fail more times than we win. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with, if COVID happens again, I need to figure out what that's going to look like for me. Because you got to think, how many times has a millionaire failed, but it's still a millionaire?
All these startups, like, there's a prediction that a majority of the startups will fail.
Oh yeah, right. But all the failures are just lessons, right?
That part. So year to year, I try to gauge, okay, what did I do in year 2 that I didn't do in year 4, or vice versa? Or, you know, what did I not do in all 6 years that I need to start doing in year 7 to, you know, search for that longevity that I want for my business. But honestly, self-doubt would be the highest one. I mean, it's a list. You know, that's, to me, it's the hardest thing. And just, you know, satisfaction. Like, no one wants to be disappointed. No one wants to feel as though they didn't give their best to everyone. And it's a catch-22, because no, you can't please everyone, and not everybody is meant to be your client. But the people that do cross paths with you, I always say, you know, to my clients and to my friends, like, there's a reason why you're laying on my lash bed, or that you purchased something from me, or that you came by and, you know, saw me. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to take that as a reason to continue to do what I do and try to excel each and every time. So it's just like, every day that you have a moment to do it all again, or every day that you wake up and, you know, hit that alarm clock, take a shower, get ready, and go to work. What did I not do yesterday that I need to do today in order for me to give my best to someone? Even though
we're taught to not be comfortable with failing. But as you said, some lesson can come out of that, like that perspective that you have. Like, if I fail at this thing, then I can rebound. I can pivot and do something a little bit differently. So failure isn't something that's like the end of everything. And I wish that, you know, more of us would be comfortable with that. You know, that's something that we all could work on.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. I want to pivot, talk about makeup and beauty.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, now that we
that's what we hear. That's what we hear.
Business stuff.
This is you good, Richard? You got everything?
Yeah.
I'm about to go to the right side of my
Just go ahead, man. I'm here. I'm here.
Try not to talk about this forever, because, you know.
No, you good. You good. I gotta take notes. You know, I got 3 girls, so I gotta make sure I take notes.
Yeah. All right. So, when it comes to a makeup, especially like complexion products, I feel like it's only in recent years that we have a lot more variety. Because now you got like the 40 shades of foundation, and all these big brands are like competing to be the most woke or whatever. Now it's like fashionable to be inclusive. But you know, back in the day, what did we have? Like MAC that was making our colors. We had like just a few brands.
Literally just MAC.
Yeah. So now that you're operating in a time where, you know, there's a little bit more options, do you still feel that there are areas in this space that where we still need more inclusivity? Like, are there some products that you feel like can be more inclusive for people of color, especially like dark-skinned people?
Oh, for sure. I literally got a question asked today. You know, do you try high-end foundations like Marc Jacobs or Dior? And I'm like, Marc didn't have my shade. And I'm not that brown. I'm not chocolate. So for you not to even have my shade, and I feel like I'm a middle shade, how does that work?
Yeah.
So there's still some struggles within the beauty industry that are unfortunately not open to including us. And I think that's okay, because that forces us to make our own, to only include us. So it's like, just like you have your own, I want us to have our own. Just like you can reach your top, profiting. Look at Rihanna, 1 billion.
I saw the article. I was like, wow.
Yeah. And I also think there's this misconception that Black women don't buy makeup, but in actuality, it's because you haven't been making it for us.
I've seen us more in their stuff than I've seen them in our stuff. It's now that they coming over and trying to figure out how to ladies' baby hairs and all this other stuff. But I remember walking into Mac, the counter, or Sephora, and it would be people of, helping us try to find a shade, and I'm sitting there like,
no,
I don't work here, so I can't, take it. But I do believe that is a challenge that, when we were coming up, and it's like our parents didn't wear makeup. So it's like we're diving into an industry that we don't even have any experience in. We didn't know anybody, we're the first generation to wear makeup at real life. Like, so for that to, still be a thing, I'm happy it's happening. I know it's not going to be done by the time that, I leave the earth. There's always going to be a pocket where it's just reserved for them. But I'm happy to see that we're making our own path, our own way, and our own products for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I noticed that you've recently made an announcement about some lip products that you've come up with.
I did.
So can you tell us about that, and what inspired you to create this line of lip products?
Can I be shallow?
Sure.
I just want the money. That's it. I ain't want nothing. I'm kidding. It's twofold. It was, what don't I see, for myself, and also how can I corner my market. It's one thing to be able to give someone one thing, but if you can give one thing to 10 people, you're growing your network. So it's, again, not being able to see you face to face, but still giving you the experience, by postal. But it was just something that I have always thought about it. And I was just like, well, I don't know how. I kept self-doubting myself and saying, well, I don't know how it's going to work. So I was just like, hey, Michelle, so what if I started this? She was like, I've been waiting on you to tell me that for months. I was like, why didn't you say anything? Like, you're the person, like,
is Michelle the advisor, your financial advisor? Okay.
So it was one of those, like, I was very apprehensive about it because I also was just like, I have so much other stuff going on. I don't want to take away from my existing, but it's just like, if I don't do that, how do I not know that it's gonna make another path for me? But during the pandemic, I hit up a good friend of mine. She's also in the beauty industry, and I worked with her my first makeup class in 2016.
Nice.
Bianca's wedding in Jamaica, and I was orange.
Oh my gosh, I remember.
Right. And I was like, hey girl, hey, I'm having my first makeup class. Do you mind sponsoring something? She's like, oh yeah, no problem. She sent me boatloads of foundations. Of eyeshadows and things like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
And honestly, I was just like, she didn't have to do that. People don't have to be nice to her. They definitely don't have to be nice to you. And in this industry, because it's so, I hate that part of it, but because it's so, I got what I got, I have. Pay me for my gems. Listen, there's 7,000 Krogers and Walmarts and all these things within proximity. They're connected sometimes. So it's just like, what you have for you is for you. What I have So when, she sent me that things, I've always kept in contact with her. I still talk to her to this day. So I was like, hey, so like, what if I do this? She was like, girl, yeah. Like, she's a distributor. So I hit her up. I wanted to do private labeling. And she was like, here. And I brought it back to Michelle. And Michelle was like, boom, send her the check. And I was like, okay, here we go.
Nice. And I know you have like your some of the lip glosses with you if you want to show people, because when I saw the post online, one of the things that caught my eye is tying it back to inclusivity and thinking of women of color. I love that there's shades of nudes for dark-skinned people of all skin tones. I will say, like, when it comes to lipsticks, you know, people are, you know, getting hip to the fact that we need more nude lipsticks. But when it comes to lip glosses, sometimes we don't. Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like, you're gonna look ashy or
that part. So, and that was literally my goal, is to find a product that really caters to us. I'm not shy to say that I want this for us. If Ralph Lauren can make Ralph Lauren for them, I want this to be for us. If you choose to, you know, branch out and purchase from me, I know it'll work for you. But my main goal is to make my beautiful Black and brown girlfriends and, you know, little girls feel comfortable that, you know, when you walk into a store and nobody in there looks like you, it's kind of like, well, why am I here? You know, this space is for me. So I want to make a space where people feel comfortable to say, you know what, I like this because it looks like all of this I can wear, which I know is really hard to hold. But that it literally is for any and everyone. Like, for instance, the one that I have on right now is, this one's called, so the whole line is called, Send Nudes. I know that's,
I love that. I love it.
People send nudes, but I want to send you some nudes.
Nice.
And the one that I have on is called Barely There.
Yeah,
so
I love it. That's like a peachy nude
vibe. Bridal look there. So that I have 5 of them. So there's one. I have Sheer Confidence. So I also try to think of names where they're more empowering versus, you know, with the negative connotation of, you know, what you can think of when people say send nudes. I didn't want it to be that. I want you to be empowered for, you know, wearing my products. So this is Sheer Confidence. And it's just a tad lighter than the one that I had prior to. Now, this is probably one of my favorites. It's a chocolate.
I love
Normally, we don't really do well in white brands that us because, again, they don't make us look good. So this one's called Sensual.
I love that.
Really like this one. Number 4 is a very, very light. So this is like an everyday, you don't need a lip liner. It goes on as a gloss or as a top coat to a nice lipstick. It's called Aura.
Nice.
Aura. And then last but not least, this is a little bit lighter than the Sensual. This is called Chemistry. So this one also you can put on different things, kind of make it your own. So honestly, you can wear them with lip liners and lipsticks, or you can wear them alone. I just really appreciate the way that they last. Like, talking for almost an hour. I had my face done maybe like 30 minutes prior, and I still have, you know, lip gloss on my lips. So I was thinking more about how would this feel for someone that, you know, can't walk away from their Zoom call, but, you know, you know, or, hey, I don't like lipsticks, or I feel like, because I hear this all the time when I do, my lips are too big. I don't want to do this color. I don't want to do
Everybody want big lips now. You know, it's like what we heard about ourselves.
Ooh, that's another topic, boy.
I know. That's another topic.
Go big, go home, basically. But, you know, if you don't want to go as big, here is an option for you to keep it very simple and complement you. And in any space that you're in, whether it's home, family, church, work, that you can feel comfortable wearing this product.
Nice.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's
cool. Good. So, any other questions, Rich? Before I
got I have another question. Another question I have for you. As we're going getting close to closing, but a couple of questions. So, what advice would you give to somebody that's wanting to try to be an entrepreneur? Like, what goal, like what steps would you want to give, or what gems would you want to give to somebody that's interested in becoming an entrepreneur?
I would say, think about the things that actually make you smile when you're by yourself. Like something that you can do that at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, all of our purposes in life, the umbrella is serve. You know, your purpose is to serve, whether it be in different capacities. At the end of the day, you're serving me and I'm serving you being here on this live, right?
Right.
You serve your job into, you know, producing what it is that they want. You serve your family by making sure you're making money. So it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to think that once you're an entrepreneur, no one, tells you what to do. You're still at the service of other people. So
That's
find
true.
what it is where you can still serve the people around you and
Yeah.
still retain a level of happiness with what you're giving to people. Another gem I would say is push as hard as you can. I don't think I would be where I am if I didn't have the push of the people that love me and support me. Because
Mm-hmm.
of course you'll get in your own way. You're already in your own way by telling yourself you can't or that you haven't started. So with that, take that and use that as a push. All that negative energy that you're giving yourself, all that negative talk that you're putting out into the atmosphere, use that to push you into the direction of, or push you in a direction. Because at the end of the day, I didn't think, I would be along the path that I am, but I knew that I had to push whatever it was, whatever at that moment that is giving you that desire to just keep going on that fire. That's what you push with. That's what you take your right foot and step face forward with and give whatever it is in that stride, push with that.
Okay. Awesome.
That's great.
That's great. Great. All right. So my final set of questions for you is rapid fire questions. These are just like random fun questions.
Like taboo right now. Okay.
Yeah.
What the word is.
I hope you're ready.
Yeah, it's very quick. Don't think. Huh?
I said I was taboo queen. Ask Vanessa.
You were. Y'all don't want to mess with her. So don't think too hard about them. Just like whatever comes to mind. Okay. Some of them are from the last show, but we threw in some fun ones in there too. All right. What do you do when you first wake up?
Check my phone.
Gotcha. Like most of us. In terms of makeup, what has been your favorite recent makeup find?
My own line.
Oh, okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
From top to bottom. It's my lashes. It's my lip gloss. It's other things coming. So yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Would you rather spend a year without ever wearing eyeshadow again or without ever wearing lipstick again?
Eyeshadow.
Okay. Gotcha. What show have you binged lately and loved?
Cecil Hotel. That was a trip.
You know what? Isn't that what Kia said last time?
I think so.
Okay, I feel like somebody else had told me about this.
I think so. We gotta go back
I
and
know.
take that.
Coming up.
Well, I'm a crime junkie, so all I
Okay,
watch.
okay.
So, on anything Netflix that's drama, crime, true crime, I'm here for it. So yeah, that's literally what I watched.
Nice.
Okay.
What food could you eat every day?
Y'all know I like to eat.
Pancakes. Okay. Nice. All right. What's the misconception that people often have about you?
I'm tall.
Oh yeah.
Really?
That's a funny one.
That is a good one, though. That is a good one.
We're laughing because if you've ever met Naomie.
Like, I thought you
Oh
were
my
taller
God.
than that. And I'm like,
Well, you do have a commanding presence, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So they probably, over the phone and you talking to them or something. That I'm like, oh,
they swear I'm 6'2",
wow.
and I'm nothing before 11, y'all. I promise. Flat-footed.
That's hilarious. Okay. And lastly, who's the first musical artist that you became a fan of? That you can remember?
Fred Hammond, because that is the first genre we could listen to.
I know, right?
So yeah, Fred.
And good old Fred. Good old Fred.
That's great.
Nice.
That's great.
Nice.
So how can everybody contact you? What's the best way for everybody to reach out to you? Text you? Oh, God.
I'm kidding. So I am on a couple different platforms. Via Instagram, it is at BlushedbyNaomie. The same goes for Facebook, BlushedbyNaomie LLC, BlushedbyNaomie@gmail.com. What else I got? www.blushedbynaomie.com. That, I mean, like everything is Blushed by Naomie. And I will say that's a tidbit for any entrepreneurs. Make sure that your profile is cohesive, that all of your platforms match, all of your platforms have the same name so that people can reach you faster. If you have, you know, Lashes by Kiki and Kiki does lashes as
okay,
you won't get the traction that you want. So make
Right.
sure that you're cohesive as possible.
So branding is very important.
Important. Branding is your essence, is you. So, you know, if you're all over the place, your client's gonna be all over the place. So, you know, you want something to have, you know, Walmart's not gonna change their name. They're gonna change their logo, but you know Walmart is Walmart, no matter if you're in Asia or you're in Africa, you know Walmart. So yeah, so that's all my platforms. I have all my information of how to contact me via email, telephone number, text. You can send me a message through StyleSeat. I have it all.
All right, not a problem. Yeah, we definitely will go ahead and pin that to the chat. So those who weren't able to join us live can watch it, and then they'll have your contact info. Naomie, it was such a pleasure having you tonight. It was good seeing you. Really proud and excited for what's to come for you. And for everybody else that joined us, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that like button. Just pound it. Don't forget, information about all of Naomie's contact information will be posted in the chat for you guys. Vanessa, any last words? I think Vanessa, I think we may have lost her, but it's okay, man. It was great seeing you again, you guys. Thank you guys for those who was able to join us tonight. And you guys have a wonderful. Oh, there you go, Vanessa.
Yeah, I was like,
we lost you for a second.
Yay. Okay, I'm glad I got back on. Thank you so much, Naomie. I'm sure, you know, Rich said all that I was thinking, and you know, I love you, girl. And thank you for letting us take up your time this evening. We could have chatted for way longer, but we know the people got to go.
Listen, okay? Because I feel like as soon as I log off, I'm going to get a couple notifications. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But it's
exactly what it is.
That I need, so I appreciate y'all sharing your
All right, not a problem.
So we wish you nothing but the best and increase for your business.
As well as for SOP. If it wasn't for SOP,
so
I just want to give a major shout out to Aunts.
Yeah.
I know you did, but I just want to thank him.
He there in the chat somewhere.
So it's like, I know SOP. I can't, like, everybody else don't know SOP.
Yeah.
I know SOP, but I just want to do you guys, and for sure Aunts and all of his team and his, you know, members, former members. You all have literally, you know, I've seen the growth in you guys going to Florida, to Orlando for gigs and all that stuff, and to see how we've developed over the years. It's beautiful to see how we've grown in our own ways, but I'm so very proud.
That's great.
Oh, thanks, Naomie.
Thanks again.
And
all right, everybody
who've joined us on this
don't forget, like, subscribe. All right, we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. Blushed by Naomie. There you go. Lashes, body butter. What's the lip liner?
Everything.
All right, there we go. All right, so we'll see you guys again in 2 weeks. March 10th is going to be episode. It's going to be a nice one. In March 10th, another nice young entrepreneur doing his thing up in Jersey. All right, so you guys have a wonderful night.
Stay tuned for information on all the SOP platforms, and you guys have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.